Are you struggling to find happiness even during difficult times? Well, stay tuned because we're going to share with you tools that you can use to totally transform your life. So call somebody, text somebody, email somebody, Facebook somebody, and let them know that the Total Life Transformation TV show is on the air. I'm your host, Dr. LaVerne Adams, and we'll be right back.
This is Total Life Transformation TV, helping you to create and activate a total life transformation. With your host, Dr. LaVerne Adams.
Transform your life, transform your life, speak new life and visualize the winner in you.
I am so excited today about today's show. We're going to be talking about emotional transformation and the tools and techniques that you can use even in difficult times. And I have a very special guest, and I'm so excited to be able to share this moment with Dr. Angela Clack. She is a licensed psychologist and psychotherapist at Clack Associates. She has a private practice and outpatient counseling agency in Southern New Jersey. And she's been working in the mental health field for over 25 years. And the most important thing is she's a dear friend.
Yes. Yes.
And I am so excited to have you on this show, our inaugural show, where we're talking about emotional transformation, emotional health.
Wow.
And this is a very important topic,
Yes.
especially in the climate that we find ourselves in. And so we had to bring in the expert.
Oh my gosh. I accept. Thank you. I thank you.
So why don't you just tell us a little bit, maybe a snippet more
Okay.
about yourself and maybe something that I might have missed,
Okay.
and then we'll move into a little
Okay.
bit more conversation.
Well, what I think what the audience doesn't know that I have to say is that this is an honor and pleasure for me because our relationship started when I met you as my first coach.
Yes.
And it was because of our relationship and our work together that I believe it's been the trail that got me right here today. That we have come full circle.
Wow. Give me a high
I'm
five.
telling you, if people don't believe in coaching, I am
Yeah.
a true product of it.
Yes.
And just the spiritual guidance and the push and the kick me out the nest of where I was. And
Yes.
so I want to say that I'm here. I feel very much honored. And when you asked me, it was a no-brainer. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, that's so wonderful. I'm
Yes.
so thankful. And again, you speak about the importance of being able to be coachable and to get what you need. And sometimes people can't move from point A to point B because they're not willing to get the help they need. And the conversation we had earlier, some people would rather put more money on their head than inside of it. Put more money on their back
Yes.
than invest in what's inside. And so it's critical in this hour that we are the best possible people we can be. And
love
that's
that.
going to take work.
That's going to take work. And that was the work. I have to share this. So I was working at a full-time place that I was very unhappy. And I remember when we were doing our coaching sessions, I would go in my car,
Yes.
drive up the street to a McDonald's parking lot so that no one would come out and get me.
Yes.
Because my job was very demanding. So wherever I was, people would find me. I would go. I had my half hour with you. When I was done, I had work to do.
Wow.
I had work to do. And when you said homework assignment, I needed to show my homework assignment. So I took that very seriously. It was a financial investment. It was an emotional investment. It was a
Yes.
spiritual investment.
Yes.
So when you say do the work, there's work to be done.
And
Absolutely.
we see the product.
Absolutely.
Oh
It
my
pays
goodness,
off.
it pays off.
pays off.
And so I want to encourage anybody who's thinking twice about getting a coach. Here's what really you don't have. You don't have anybody to hold you accountable.
That's what it is.
Because if you're left to yourself,
Yes.
you would ease up and say, but when you know you have to answer
Yep.
to the big C, the big C.
That's it. That's it. I'm telling
You're
you.
like, oh my God, she's gonna,
Yes.
she's gonna ask me if I did
Yep.
this.
It was like worse than college. Because of the expectation in our relationship, part of it's like, she's investing in me.
Yes.
So I have to put the work in because I want her to see that I'm very serious about this.
Yes.
And that's why I invested in coaching. And I'm telling you, I just can't say enough about your first book because that launched me to, again, higher heights.
Driven by Destiny, 12 Secret Keys to Unlock Your Future.
I still use it.
You're just like the perfect coaching.
Unsolicited, not anything you needed to do, because it's a testimony to my life. So,
wow,
absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that segues us right into the importance of having somebody who can provide for you moral support while you struggle through to get to where you know you need to be. And I often say that frustration is a sign that you are not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
That's good. Yeah.
It really is just telling you and what makes it even worse, you know it.
Yes.
You know, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be doing this. I'm not supposed to be making this kind of money. I'm not supposed to be living. I'm supposed to be doing better.
Yes.
And because you know that, you are frustrated. So that's all frustration is. Frustration is a manifestation of displeasure with your own existence and your own life. But that's not so bad, because what it is helping you to see, well, now what do I need to do? Now, you could stay where you are, and I want to commend you because you actually put the time in, you put the work in, you put the effort in, you put the resources in, and look at the product.
And
you
I
got
made a
what
move.
you were looking for.
I made a move.
And I would venture to say that too many people don't have that kind of support, and they can't budge. And so, believe it or not, you had a coach. Well, so did I. So don't think for a minute I'm just coaching people, and I'm not getting coaching myself.
That's good. Yes.
I could list the number of coaches I keep in my life, because we have to be able to submit ourselves. First of all, I said this on one of my syndicated shows that I was on. You have to be able to be teachable. And especially when you want to shift from an emotional zone. And of course, I'm talking to the expert, but you can't make someone shift. They have to be willing to make the change themselves. Like, if you're depressed, I can't say, listen, you better get yourself together. You better smile. You better act happy. I could jump up and down and do all kinds of somersaults, and it wouldn't change a thing until you get the information you need.
That's right.
To show different behaviors. So we really do need to submit ourselves to someone we can trust. That can help us along the way. So why don't you say a little bit more about that emotional fulfillment that is possible for people?
It is possible. I like when you say people don't have a person they trust to confide in. And often many of the women that I see in my practice they use the word stuck. I feel stuck. And so part of our job is to help them to kind of I guess we're going to unwrap what's going on in their life and figure out, well, what areas are they stuck in? They don't know. So we got to go way back and get the backstory about how they got to where they are. But one of my questions I ask every woman that comes in, and I ask men too, but I see more women, is where is your level of social support? Who's your social support system? And a good 85% will say, I don't have one.
Well, there you have it.
I don't have it.
So if you have no social support system, if you have no person that can hold you accountable, I just heard one of my other coaches say, I can't steer a parked car.
Tweet.
I can't steer a parked car. So if you want to go somewhere and you're not only in park, but you got the brake on, what can
you're not moving.
You're not moving. So now, in these new cars, I'm going to tell you the truth. When I first got my car, I didn't know where the brake was. The parking brake was.
I'm with you.
So we need people to help us to see where the brake is so we can pull that.
That's right.
And listen, you could beat on the steering wheel. You can beat up the dashboard. You can break down the compartments.
You don't know where you're going.
And still not be able to release the brake until somebody. So what I did was I took out the manual. And look to see where it was.
The manual.
So what does that mean? I was willing to be teachable and get the help I need.
That's right.
So this is where, and my life has literally taken off in amazing directions, because now I'm picking up from this person, I'm picking up from that person, and so with all of the support, I'm launching into another dimension. And this is really what people dream about. They just don't know how to get there.
That's right. That's right.
So, in terms of your practice and people come, we they have issues. Well, I'm going to kind of take it from a different stance because I'm an executive coach, so I don't go all the way back.
Okay.
What I do is I actually go right where the person is.
That's right.
And let's take you from where you are. We know there's backstory, and we know that there's a reason why you got to where you're at. We may even identify it. But I want to spend most of my time working on what are your strengths.
That's right.
What are your abilities? What's your talent? Because that's what's going to drive you to the place you want to be.
That's right.
So with that being said, some people may not be feeling so good right now. They're emotional. They're upset. I hear this like every day now for the past week.
Yep.
I'm angry. Things didn't turn out my way with the election.
That's
And they don't know what to do with that
That's right.
anguish. We're talking about emotions now. So can you give us some kind of maybe a tool that people can use, to deal with that in this moment?
I think one of the things that I've heard this week is a sense of disappointment and isolation. And of course, in therapy, if someone's coming to me and they're depressed, they're usually withdrawn from life. And so one of my techniques is I need you to tap back in and connect with folks.
Beautiful.
And so whether that's if you have social anxiety and you can't get out, then I want you to tap into a professional online community, one that's of course credible, because there's all kind of people in the world that are online, but tap into a community where you can get some support. You can seek a therapist. You may have to seek a best friend or someone, but you got to get connected back into life, even if it's just one person. You need a little bit of a lifeline while you're isolated or you're depressed, just to kind of check back in.
To reality.
To reality, that's it, to reality, because it is what it is. The election's done. The person who's voted is in, but we have to keep it moving. So you can't check out a life because he's in there for the next 4 years, right? So you still have to figure out, okay, so what's the work that I need to do for me and my family, for me and my loved ones, so that we are in a good place no matter what decisions are being made.
Okay, so now the tool that we can use is to put ourselves in a social environment.
Yes.
And the isolation is not at all helpful.
No.
So what we're hearing is that you have to avoid this area of I need to be by myself. I need to be alone. People are crazy. Listen, how about this one? I don't need nobody.
Not good.
That's not good because
That's not good.
you needed somebody to come into the world.
Absolutely.
And you're going to need somebody to lead the world.
That's right.
So, somebody's, if you expire, somebody's going to have to pick you up and put you where you belong to come into the world. We had to get hands to help you come in. And so that is consistent throughout life.
That's right.
We need each other.
We do need each other.
And too many times we're trying to do things on our own. If I could have a dime for every time somebody said, I want my own, I want to do it my own, I want to do it my way, I would be a millionaire. So that literally inhibits us from going further.
Absolutely.
So what we actually think is going to take us further by doing it on our own is literally pulling us back.
And you know what that is? That is partially an American ideal. The individual.
There it is.
The
I was getting ready to say that.
Do me. It's all about me. I'm going to get mine. And then you have countries that are very collectivist. They come together, whether it's a tribe or whether it's a cohort, and they live and support each other. I mean, to the point where they're taking care of each other's kids, they're cooking meals together,
sleeping, taking shifts in the bed.
They look for each other, and they look out for each other. We, on the other hand, are being taught to look out for self, which is self-destructive in many ways.
And that's why many cultures could come to this country and get further along because we're so busy thinking about numero uno.
That's right.
So now I'm hearing as a tool, we have to learn new skills, new social skills. And I have to honestly say, as a single woman, I walk and I do a lot of things by myself. Now, that's not by choice.
Right.
But I could easily say, you know what, I'm going to stay home because I'm going to come in by myself and I have to tell myself, wait a minute, you need those people. And you need those people to help you be part of a community and help you to feel like you have worth and value in the community. And so I want to talk to some single ladies. All the single ladies. All the single ladies. Come on, let's talk to you right now. We need each other. Now, here's what you don't need. You don't need a griping session. You don't need, and this is one thing I refuse to participate in, we don't need any male bashing, you know, and all men are bad and all, listen, I don't want to hear because eventually one good one's got to come along.
They're out there, you'll find them. But you don't need to find, you don't need to be the pursuer. You have to put yourself in a place to be pursued.
Absolutely.
And lots of times single women feel very intimidated by taking themselves to dinner, taking themselves to the movie, going out and doing fun things, so they stay at home.
This is what I say. You know, you get upset that nobody took you to dinner, but there are thousands of restaurants out there. You can go out and then invite a girlfriend.
That's right.
You say nobody bought you flowers for Mother's Day or bought you flowers bought you flowers for Valentine's Day.
Yes.
You need to love upon yourself.
That's
they sell them right down the street. You can buy some for yourself.
You can get them for yourself.
Listen, do yourself a favor.
Yes.
$6.99. It's real cheap. I mean, it's real, and all of that will just go away.
Yes.
All of that will just go away, and they're just beautiful.
Yes.
But again, it sounds simple to go to the store and to buy a $5.99 bouquet of flowers. But guess what? It is something that will feed you emotionally. And make you feel and really get your sense of value. Yes. And so now we don't need to take it to the other extreme and say, well, you know, I don't need nobody because I can do this for myself. I heard that enough times.
I hear that often too.
So we are talking about getting in a very safe, healthy social environment. Yes. And that may mean looking for things and looking for places to go that like-minded people are. You don't have to put yourself in any kind of danger, you know. And then also, you know, you really got to think about what you're thinking. And that's another piece. I think I'm getting ahead of myself. That's all right. But you got to really. You got to watch your thoughts, and that's part of my book, Driven by Destiny, and now Destination Transformation. It's in there as well. Driven by Destiny, 12 Secret Keys to Unlock Your Future, and Destination Transformation, your navigational roadmap to a totally fulfilling, pretty amazing,
I can't wait for mine.
Completely rewarding dream life. I'll put one in the mail for you.
Oh, thank you.
But we got to look at our thought life.
Absolutely.
Because if you, again, we're going back to everything's bad, I don't need anybody. Those are thoughts.
What are we telling her? What are we feeding?
What are we feeding on? What are we eating? So if you always, if you know, if it's brown and it smells funny, you might want to leave it alone. And it's, in other words, if it stinks.
That's right. Stinking thinking.
It's stinking thinking. And I often say you cannot afford the luxury of not one negative thought.
That's right. So
it literally eat away at you. And sometimes we need people who will help us and hold us accountable. Like you don't want to see, you don't mean that. You didn't really say that.
That's right.
You know, and those are the people we need to bring into our lives.
That's right. That's right. People who kind of check us. Because we can being with like-minded people in the sense that if you're negative and you hang around negative people,
there it is.
You end up commiserating and you don't get anywhere. Versus you have someone that says, hey, look, you know that thought is not going to get you anywhere, or that's a real negative thing to say. Do you really think that way? You get into a dialogue with someone who has a healthy thought pattern to get you to check your thoughts.
And sometimes, I have to say, people reject that. Well, you're not my friend, because I'm trying to tell you what I've been through. And what I do, honestly, I let you get it out. And then the next question is, so what we going to do about it?
I like that. There you go. That's it. We're not going to stay here.
No.
We're not going to stay
Just when you thought I was going to commiserate, Dr. Adams, I'm going to tell you my whole story. Come on, I'm going to give you about 15 minutes, get it all out.
Good. I like that.
Now, what is your plan?
Yes.
What is your plan? And right now, if you're feeling depressed in any way, if you're feeling unhappy, my question to you is, what is your plan?
Yes.
And you got to bring your A game to the plan, because This is real life. And the reality is, we're not going to get what we want.
Not all the time.
We're not always going to get what we want. And we can't act like babies and say, okay, I'm going to take my balls and I'm going home.
That's true.
What we have to do now is say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And this is what I recommend. And I'm going right along with your tool that we can use. And that is to find people who can actually help you get to where you want to be.
Yes.
Because if there was ever a time to do and to live your dream, it's right
now.
now.
Right now.
And honestly, depression and despondency is a distraction.
Absolutely.
To the dream.
To your destiny.
And to your destiny.
Absolutely.
And so it won't get you where you really want to be. So just when we thought we could, wallow in it, and just when we thought that we deserved that time and we deserve, I'm not saying that you can't be unhappy. I'm not saying that you can never make a mistake or say something negative. It happens. It's part of life. But I'm saying you can't stay there.
You can't stay there. That's where people, again, when the women are often in my office, they're stuck. And there's some thinking patterns that get them stuck. A lot of times it's they overthink things. Things can be very simple or they can be very much in their face, but they overthink it, which keeps them stuck either in the past or trying to move forward into the future, neither of which you can change nor control.
Absolutely.
Because if you stay in that overthinking pattern, you don't make any decision. You almost get immobilized, almost paralyzed that you don't make any, and you stay stuck right in that same thought.
And to piggyback on that, it sort of kind of came to me when you was talking. What's even more interesting is when you think about how it's supposed to happen and it doesn't. Now that's not just an election, that's life.
That's life. That's right.
Life is not going to go your way, but let me tell you how I've been able to overcome that. I look at life-changing situations or scenarios that I actually are out of my control as messages and signposts to say, okay, the direction you were moving in was not the right direction. So it gets my attention. It's time for me to look to God and say, okay, what am I supposed to be doing? And I'm not going to move forward until you speak to me and tell me what to do. So sometimes, tragedies, we think are tragedies. Well, I look at them as signposts.
Okay.
So sometimes if you lose your job, or sometimes, some people may have health issues. Well, actually, the health issue was talking to you for a long time.
Yes.
In some cases,
right.
I don't want to overgeneralize.
That's right.
And I just had a breakup. Well, the breakup, that was talking to you for a long time, too.
You saw the signs a long time
You saw the
ago.
signs, but you just ignored them. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So now
yes,
that manifestation is actually a message.
That's good.
And I believe that God speaks to us in whispers.
Yes.
And then he uses other things to yell. And until he gets our attention, and we have to decide, now what am I going to do with this message? When we see it that way, it's better than seeing it and we getting depression off of this. Well, nobody cares. And I'm down in the dumps, and it's always been this way, and it's always going to be bad, and you go deeper and deeper, and you spiral down into a pit that you can't get out of.
That's good.
So seeing those situations as messages, messaging from God,
I like that.
from the Spirit, to say, okay, well, first of all, life happens. And it happens the way it's going to happen. And if we are aligned with our destiny, it will happen it'll be a journey. So in my life, I've experienced incredible tragedies.
Right.
I mean, just wipe you off the planet tragedies.
Yes.
But I made a decision that I was going to turn my tragedies into triumphs.
Wow.
And my mess into a message.
That's good.
And my test into a testimony.
Yes.
Because then I get on top of it instead of under it.
I love that.
This is Total Life Transformation TV, helping you to create and activate a total life transformation. With your host, Dr. LaVerne Adams.
Transform your life. Transform your life. Speak new life and visualize the winner in you.
Hey everybody, this is my social media moment, and I was able to ask the questions or ask the audience for questions, and I have some questions right now that I'm going to pose to our expert, our psychological expert. And this Amy is having trouble. She doesn't know how to move forward at work or return to learning to being with a family. So apparently she's probably been divorced, and she's trying to figure out, how do I get on with my life? And I guess we would just give her one step to start that.
Well, I think somewhere along the way she needs help getting some clarity. So whether she speaks with a pastor or whether she speaks with a therapist or a coach, someone that can help her kind of sort out her thoughts, because with all that going on, she doesn't have anybody that's outside her head. She's trying to do all this work inside by herself. So she needs just to, even if it's a one session thing, just to say, hey, put me on the right road, give me work, coordinate resources for me, books, maybe some really good self-help books, such as your books, great for me. That's what I think she needs, someone to help her kind of get outside her head, get outside and sort some of her thoughts.
Awesome. So Amy, you need to connect with somebody, get those thoughts outside your head, and let somebody help give you a reality check. This is Total Life Transformation TV.
Hi, I'm Dr. Angela Clack with Clack Associates in Sicklerville, New Jersey, and you're watching Total Life Transformation with Dr. LaVerne Adams. If you're ready to live your best life, stay tuned.
So, you know, we've been pretty much talking about tools that you can use to overcome emotional trauma, depression. Just for starters, we're just starting the conversation, and I hope that we can do this again.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
And why don't you give them some information about, you know, your website?
Okay. My website to reach me is www.clackassociates.com. It's brand new. I got it up. It's revamped. It's rather interactive. So please go if there's information there you want to share. Soon I'll have some newsletters. In 2017, I'm looking to do some big things for mental health, because there's such a gap in services, or such a gap in education and information. So my office is in Sicklerville, New Jersey, 856-875-5335.
Awesome, awesome. This has been great. We've talked about some tools that you can use for emotional transformation, so that you can fulfill and touch transform every area of your life. And if you want to hear more about it, please contact me at totallifetransformation.net. Friend me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and if you're interested in really changing your life, you can use the hashtag Dream Life, because that's really what we're moving you to get to your dream life. And then also I want to offer you a 15-minute free consultation, and you can get all that on my website. And so again, thank you so much for joining us at Total Life Transformation. And I want you to know that you can transform your life, and it can start right now.
This is Total Life Transformation TV, helping you to create and activate a total life transformation. With your host, Dr. LaVerne Adams.
Transform your life, transform your life. Speak new life and visualize a winner in you.
You cannot play that game anymore. It's your problem because I'm the way I am.
Are we having a conversation here today, or are we doing work? Let me know so I know how to proceed.
We're back together again.
Back together again. You guys just don't know.
After all these years, and you know, we're just so thankful.
We rationalize our behaviors to fit with our story at that time, instead of being accountable and taking personal responsibility to make change.
Stay tuned, because we're going to share with you some tools that you can use, that you can experience emotional wellness to transform every area of your life.
Your identity for 35 years was as a married woman. So now you're looking for ways to identify who you are as a woman by yourself. And I think that again, I'm going to go back to what I said before. You want to look to people who are already doing this, who have successfully made that transition, or women who know how to help you find your identity.
Every day, every single day, I make sure that I present positive information to myself. I listen to tapes, I listen to music, I listen to positive words. I read positive books every single day. I do that for myself, because if I don't do that, I will find myself being affected by the world and all of its negativity, and I do that special moment. So I want to encourage you, take special time for yourself so that you can arise to the occasion instead of being bombarded by every negative message that is around you.